especially for those of you who were persistent enough to keep trying to attend the webinar. Um, we have reached a quorum and we will get started. This meeting will be recorded. So members, if possible, please turn your cameras on if you're able to, and we'll get started. Right. Glad to see you all. Again, my name is Tavon Braxton. I'm the chair of the board, and I'll allow the other board members to announce themselves.
Charles James, the Baltimore Police Department representative.
James Turner, Secretary.
Good morning, Carla Neely, Chief, Bureau of Revenue Collections. I was having technical difficulty, but I'm sure it's my issue.
We understand. Thank you all for being here. Not a very long agenda today. However, we will be posting the applications to allow the members of the board on the webpage. You know, we have several vacancies that include the property management rep, citizen at large, tow industry rep, and possibly a secretary that we'll discuss a little later. We're seeking candidates that are, with a vested interest in the industry. We want this to become a very effective group. I want to get us to the point where we're clarifying state and local laws. We have effective oversight and compliance for the trespass towers, and I would like to do thorough evaluations of complaints. But we can't get there unless we have a completed board. And subsequently, we could probably then formalize the vote for the chair. I'm actually the interim chair at the moment. And we can formalize this, the chair after we have a complete board. So members will submit their application, interview, and go through a city council appointment where you state why you want to be on the board. Each member will have to submit financial disclosures with the ethics board annually. So just highlighting that. As such, all existing members must submit their financial disclosure forms in accordance to the City Code of Ethics. I do have a question. I understand that we have to state a member of the board, state as a member of the board as a role on the forms, but many of us have some dual roles within city agencies. So we have to submit financial disclosure forms as a result of our current positions outside of the board. So does the application allow us to state the role for both positions, or must the towing board kind of supersede for the sake of the disclosure?
I believe you put both in. I can double check with the ethics board today. I know Miss Neely did it, but I'm pretty sure there's a section that says other roles or other responsibilities that may influence or have an influence on the city, and you just would put tow board on there. They also should check you off, even if you submitted it and you didn't put the tow board on there, they'll email us and say, hey, they submitted a financial disclosure, but they didn't list the board down, and we can just tell the ethics board that to transfer that over, to add that onto a role, or figure out how to amend the disclosure. But I think there's a section for it, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. All right. So even if you didn't, there's an opportunity to make the modification as needed. So that's good. I understand that some members have already submitted their financial disclosures, but for members who have not, please complete the disclosure by April the 30th. April the 30th. So that's quickly coming up. And I'd like to announce that everybody on this call, we're seeking your support in trying to find good candidates to join the board. Like I said, we want persons with a vested interest in the industry, and we could definitely use your help in finding those candidates. On another note, Mr. Turner, our secretary, I think your last day is today. Am I correct? He will be leaving us.
That's correct. Staying close though with the city. Will be available for phone calls as we transition to someone else, maybe taking some of the secretary responsibilities, and that's Luciano. I think he's on another. He's doing double duty on a call right now. But Luciano Diaz, that you guys see, and the panelists, he's someone who's been working with us, especially the government affairs team in the background, so knows and is knowledgeable about towing issues and kind of what we're trying to do on the board moving forward. So he'll be a good resource and helpful. And then we are figuring out, I'll be working for housing and community development. So we're figuring out if that means I'd be able to advise or help the board still. But we won't know until I start next week. So we'll figure that out moving forward. And you guys will get an update definitely by the next meeting we have.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Turner. Thank you for all your help thus far. I'm really hoping that you can still be a part of the board. You are valuable wealth of knowledge, especially in the legislative area. I will say to the board, the director of the Department of Transportation is taking a concerted effort in learning more about the board, the industry, and will likely be a little more involved. That always helps. Actually helps create some leverage in our regard. And she can actually contribute to a lot of the discussions. So I'm happy about that. But outside of that, I mean, the floor is open for any questions or discussions from the commissioners and the public.
I will mention if you guys did use the webpage to get on this meeting, the webpage does have the application on, so I can show you guys really quickly how to get there. It's fairly simple. Just when you can Google tow board at share my screen. You can just Google tow board Baltimore City, and then you guys will get linked to our webpage, which looks like this. Not the meetings page, but this page. And then you just click membership application. It'll go to the bottom, and you just click this link right here where it says the application. You click it, and then you can put all your information in here. You can upload anything, the cover letter, any experience with a resume or any supplemental documents you may have. And this should allow you to apply for membership, or you can send this link to someone else. I'll copy the link and put it in the chat. And once you submit, it will go directly to Tavon.
And the applications will remain open until all the positions are filled, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Right, all right. Again, any questions or points of concern for discussion? The floor is yours. Alternatively, you can email any questions to towboard@baltimorecity.gov. Um, we can address any concerns that way as well, but I really would love to facilitate the open discussion for any open concerns.
I'm not seeing any questions.
Okay. Well, hearing none, if that is all, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have one raised hand now.
Okay. I can't tell.
Should be able to unmute. I think that's Charles Parrish. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Parrish.
Hey, good morning to you guys. Hey, I'm just wondering if all the ones that weren't able to get on by Webinex, because for the last 10 minutes I've been playing with this, trying to figure out, and I'm wondering if the other people on the phone aren't able. You have to push *3 to raise your hand first, because you're not able to unmute until you raise your hand, and then you have to do *6 once you're given the privilege to unmute. So I just don't want any towers not to be able to ask a question because they're finding hard to be able to reach you guys.
Yeah, that's
A lot of
understandable.
us towers couldn't get on through the WebEx. It wasn't working. The password was kept being denied. I know Pollard had texted me. I know Tommy from Tommy Showwood from Autobarn was supposed to be on, but I'm just wondering if other towers that had to phone in or anybody else that had to phone in is not knowing how to ask you a question.
No, it's quite possible. But James, don't you have some privileges that allow you to allow callers to speak and
Yeah, I can take the unmute. I can take the privilege off, so you should just be able to unmute. But like Mr. Parrish said, it's *3 to raise hand, *6 to unmute. So I think there's only one caller that isn't. There's only one other caller who's on a phone. Everyone else should be able to just unmute by pressing a button or raising your hand by pressing a button.
yeah. Well, if they continue to have difficulties, again, I encourage you to, send your questions or concerns to the towboard@baltimorecity.gov, and we'll still address those issues if they're unable to voice them today.
It's Friday. I don't have anything.
I will say, Mr. Parrish, would you want to talk about the piece of legislation you guys got through in Annapolis? Just what that means to towers if they don't know.
Oh, there was the electronic signature for the insurance has now been approved. It hadn't been signed yet, but it is on the governor's desk. I'm waiting to get that invite for the day that he signs it. Last year we did the lien holder. This year we got the insurer of record through. Also, just so you know, too, for procurement, for towing, the House Bill 1002, I'm on that committee as well, and we did get it passed for the pricing for state police. So Maryland State Police now have pricing for medium and heavy, something that I know the RFP hasn't been actually gone through yet. That's been on hold for a couple of years now. But there is a state police that can be mirrored as well, if that's something they'd want to look at. That went into effect February 21st under House Bill 1002. That is in effect. And then, of course, once the governor signs, which I'm sure he will, that'll take effect October 1st. And it also allows the city yard to use electronic for insurer record as well.
Thank you for that.
All
Just
the
so I'm
towing
clear, that was,
legislation did die. Yeah. Never left committees.
just so I'm clear, that was House Bill 1002, you said?
That was for the state police towing
Yeah.
pricing. We never had pricing before. And we are in communication with the MBTA, who is looking since under Comar, they haven't changed theirs since 2010, except for a couple towers had special permission on pricing. But they're looking, I've also been in communication with other jurisdictions, Washington County, one of them being just recent. They're looking to adopt it as well, and Baltimore City may want to look at it too for the medium and heavy for the pricing. I know Hartford County just redid theirs. But that now gives a state guideline that we didn't have before. And there's only 14 states in the nation that actually have state pricing. But it gives you something as a local municipality to look at and work on. Yeah, House Bill 1002 was passed last year, which was a committee was formed, a tow board, through pushing through what the city has done for many years, was used as a model to develop one for the state police towing. And Delegate Foley liked it, so she reversed House Bill 487 and gave us House Bill 1002 last year. And then we did come to a pricing agreement to which the Colonel Butler State Police did sign and approve effective February 21st of this year.
Thank you, Mr. Parrish. I put that in the chat, that bill in the chat below, and I will put the website to their board below as well, where you guys can read this information. And I'll make sure to include that in the minutes. Okay, and I'm not seeing any other questions. So Davon, you can feel free to.
Sure. Yeah, if that's all, I make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
You're a board member and you're talking, we can't hear you.
Second, Carla.
There it is. All right, well, the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all. See you next time.